Today, we're diving into an interesting topic, calculating the velocity of an arrow in Minecraft. First, let's define velocity. Velocity is at a rate at which an object changes its position. In simpler terms, it is how fast something is moving in a specific direction. The formula to calculate velocity is the velocity equals distance over time. This is what we'll be using today. To find the velocity of an arrow, we need to measure the distance it travels. In Minecraft, you can do this using coordinates. On the middle left of my screen, we have the XYZ coordinates. As I walk towards my target, my X coordinate increases. I will be shooting the arrow from X 2000 and the target block will be at X 2030. My bow range has a length of 30 blocks, but blocks aren't a unit of measurement. Officially, Minecraft uses the metric system, and each block is considered to be 1 cubic meter. So it is 1 meter long, 1 meter wide, and 1 meter tall. So I take the 30 blocks that my range is and multiply it by 30. That means my range is 30 meters long. Next, we need to measure the time it takes for the arrow to travel that distance. Using a stopwatch, I will start it once the arrow is in motion and stop it once these sensors go off. These sensors pick up on the sound the arrow makes when it impacts the ground. I will be performing this 3 times with my bow and crossbow. We'll see which weapon gives us a higher velocity. To shoot the arrow in a straight line, I have to look at this number. It tells you what angle you're looking at. Looking straight up, it is negative 90 degrees, while looking straight down is 90 degrees. I have to look at 0 degrees to get a straight path of flight. On this first attempt with a bow and arrow, it took the arrow 0.64 seconds to travel 25.3 blocks, or 25.3 meters. On my second attempt, it took the arrow 0.71 seconds to travel 24.7 meters. On my final attempt, it took the arrow 0.58 seconds to travel 23.5 meters. I will be now switching my weapon for a crossbow. On my first attempt with a crossbow, it took the arrow 0.78 seconds to travel 28 meters. On my second attempt, it took the arrow 0.62 seconds to go 24 meters. On my final attempt, it took the arrow 0.58 seconds to travel 22.8 meters. But now for fun, I'll be switching out my projectile from an arrow to a firework. On this first attempt, it took the explosive 1.02 seconds to travel the full 30 meters. On my second attempt, it took 1 second to travel the full 30 meters. And on my final attempt, it took 1.04 seconds to travel the full 30 meters. Now for the fun part, math. To get the velocity, we must take the distance of the arrow and divide it by the amount of time it took to get there. For trial 1 with a bow and arrow, that is 25 meters over 0.64 seconds. That gives us a velocity of 39.53 meters per second. Trial 2 is 24.7 meters over 0.71 seconds. I get a velocity of 34.79 meters per second. Finally, for trial 3, we do 23.5 meters over 0.58 seconds, and that's equal to 40.52 meters. To get the average velocity, we add them up and divide by 3. So the average velocity of a bow and arrow is 38.28 meters per second. We do the exact same for the crossbow with an arrow. So for trial 1, I got 35.90 meters per second. Trial 2 got me 28.71 meters per second. And trial 3 is 39.31 meters per second. Adding these all up and dividing by 3, my average velocity is 34.64 meters per second. The crossbow with fireworks is the same process. Velocity for trial 1 is 29.41 meters per second, trial 2 is 30 meters per second, and trial 3 is 28.85 meters per second. The average velocity would be 29.42 meters per second. In conclusion, using a bow and arrow has the highest velocity at an average of 38.28 meters per second. In second place would be a crossbow and arrow at 34.64 meters per second. And although it flew the furthest, lastly a crossbow with firework at 29.42 meters per second.